Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 4 college basketball games for Monday, February 6, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shop best bet, it's on an 18-6 run right now. You can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Monday in college basketball. First up, we go to the ACC as Duke takes on Miami. This one's 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Now, Duke has won 3 straight games in their most recent game against their rivals of North Carolina, 63-57 the final score, so a pretty low-scoring game there. And we saw in the first meeting between Duke and Miami a pretty low-scoring game, 68-66 was your final. But we see a pretty steep total at this one in this game, in the second meeting. It opened up around 147. I'm seeing 146s out there now. And you'd wonder, why is this total set so steep? And I think it's for good reason. Miami, their offense at home, very, very tough to beat. They're 10th in the country overall at adjusted offensive efficiency. Very good shooting team. They play pretty fast, in the top half of the country in average possession length offensively. And Duke on the other side, although they haven't had the best shooting numbers this season, they're certainly one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the nation. They're going to get plenty of second chance looks against a Miami team that's ranked 258th in the country in defensive rebounding percentage. So I don't think it's far-fetched to expect a high-scoring game in this one, so I'm going to take the over. I think we're going to see some points from both of these teams. Should be a really fun game to watch. Give me the over 146 in Duke-Miami. Next up, we go to the Big 12 as Texas takes on Kansas. This one's going to be on ESPN as well. It's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern. I got to say, this is not my favorite game on the board betting-wise, but I wanted to cover it because it's one of the biggest games on the board, not only on Monday, but for the entire week in college basketball. We see a lot of this in the Big 12. This is a loaded conference this season, and 2 of the better teams in the conference going at it. Big rivals here. Texas is on a 2-game win streak. They took down tough teams in Baylor and Kansas State, while Kansas on Saturday lost by double digits, 15 points to Iowa State, 68-53. The Iowa State defense was just too much. But I still think Kansas is the better team slightly. I think both teams are top 15 in the country, but I think Kansas is the better team slightly. They are at home, and because of that loss, the double-digit loss, because of the Texas 2 wins, we're getting a pretty good number with Kansas. So if I had to lean, I would take Kansas and lay the points. It's a game I'm going to be watching as a fan, a college basketball fan, rather than a bettor. But if I had to lean, I would take Kansas and lay the 3.5 points. Next up, we go to the SWAC as Florida A&M takes on Prairie View A&M. This one's going to be 8:30 Eastern. Prairie View A&M, this is still one of the more talented teams in the conference, in my opinion, this season. It's been a frustrating season at times for Prairie View. They've struggled to string together wins. In fact, although they're 4-6 in the conference, they have not won back-to-back games in conference play yet. They beat Grambling, lost to Southern. They beat Mississippi Valley State. They lose to Pine Bluff the next game. You beat Jackson State, then you go on a 3-game losing streak, including 2 overtime losses. And then you beat Texas Southern in double overtime. You followed it up with a bad loss against Bethune-Cookman at home. So it's kind of been a Prairie View team all over the place, but I still think Florida A&M is the weakest team in this conference. They're 360th in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency. They turn the ball over almost every possession. I shouldn't say that, but they're ranked dead last in the country in turnover percentage offensively. And Prairie View, one of their biggest things is defensively. They're a very aggressive team. They force plenty of turnovers, 57th in the country in doing so. They should be able to get a lot of fast break points in this game, and that should be enough to cover the number in the end as the home favorite. So give me Prairie View A&M. I'm going to lay the number with the Panthers. And the final game we're going to talk about for Monday's card in college basketball, it's going to be a non-conference game. That's right. Even in conference play, even in February, we see a non-conference game between UMass Lowell and Hartford. Now, this was a conference game last year, but Hartford is now an independent team. They're no longer in the America East, but these teams certainly know plenty about each other. The programs have played each other for years. I mentioned that Florida A&M, I believe, is the worst team in the SWAC this season, but I think Hartford is the weakest team in all of Division I college hoops. And even though, UMass Lowell's off back-to-back blowout wins, a 16-point win against Albany, a 90-61 victory over NJIT, even though the value may not be clearly with UMass Lowell in this game, I still think they're the better team by far, and I still like their chances to earn another blowout win on the road even against Hartford in this one. Hartford is ranked 324th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency, and their perimeter defense 289th in the nation. That's bad news against a UMass Lowell team that takes plenty of three-pointers, and they make them at a really good rate, 66th in the country. They're 57th overall in effective field goal percentage, so UMass Lowell's offense should be able to score 80, 90-plus points in this game. Should be enough for a cover in the end, so give me UMass Lowell. I'm going to lay the points. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave that like and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.